Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making others, you can go to their Patreon, $3 a month to get those games earlier. Anyways, on the last Let's Play, we were able to cover our butts. Leo didn't suspect a thing, which ensued a tickle fight though, and resulted in us having cuddle snuggles that had us fall asleep. And then there was sleep paralysis, tarantula, horror dreams. Oh yeah, and then we found out he had a gun for, safety reasons, to protect against people in the sun. Don't know if he means homophobes or people on drugs. Anyways, it's Wednesday now, and we found Janice at the side of the road again. I really need to remember to ask the people on the forum. But anyways, and we went to Carl's house, and he's passed out, which does make me wonder if we're going to have several things that are exactly the same thing, skippable stuff. I should probably ask that too, so we could probably skip them, but since it's the second iteration, we'll just continue on to see if there's anything particularly different. So I need to readjust my face. And start. Carl's house is as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It's a mansion after all. There's only a few bowls and wrappers lying around on the marble counters. I assume that's because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl? Yo, Carl. I set the bag down on the table, and TJ sets the cake there too. I look over at him. You right? Yeah, why? Just asking. How was your hike with Jenna? Alright, wish you were there though. Yeah, me too. I might go again in a day or two if you'd like. Sure, why not? I promised myself that that wasn't an empty promise. Well, he's not in his room. Flynn actually looking a little worried now. Yeah, he does look worried. Maybe he went for a walk? Carl? Walking? In this weather? Hell no. He does have other does he have other friends? Maybe he went out somewhere. Don't think so. Well, let's do a quick sweep of the house. It's a big place. Flynn heads back upstairs, and Leo heads for the downstairs with Jenna. Yeah, and I miss three-story house. Lived in one once. It was pretty nice. It wasn't a mansion by any means, but still was nice. TJ looks around the kitchen, then moves over to the living room, checking the couches. I decide to head out back, if not to get away from the others, since things feel uneasily tense between us today. As I step out into the backyard, I'm a little surprised. It's different from when I was last here. There's a play set. The playset is gone, and so is the massive trampoline they used to have. The biggest shock, though, is seeing that the huge treehouse that used to sit in the old oak tree is gone. I stand there for a moment, feeling a vague sense of loss. I have too many good memories of that place. Time moves too fucking fast. After a while, I remember why I'm here, and I look around again. No Carl, of course, but I started walking around anyway, looking behind bushes, even though I know it's stupid. While I felt for Leo, I could still see where Flynn was coming from. It would have been a way better idea to warn Carl, or just to meet up somewhere else. Leo just getting carried away a little when he has his heart set on something. He probably had this whole scene planned out in his head before we even got here. Mostly, I just feel really bad for him. He's been working really hard to make this trip interesting for all of us. I think it's our fault, more than anything, that nothing's working out. Flynn's a dick. Carl doesn't care. Jenna's also kind of a dick. And TJ is always into stuff that none of us are, like Christianity and saving our souls. And I'm just boring. As I round the corner of the house, I'm surprised to see Flynn standing there. He must have come out the front door. Oh, hey Flynn, I thought you went upstairs. Flynn doesn't seem surprised at all to see me out here, which makes me think he was looking for me. I did. Wasn't there, so I thought I'd look outside. Oh, it was not in the back, so... I don't know why Flynn's making me feel awkward as hell. Is something wrong? Flynn folds his arms and leans back against the house. Well, Carl's missing, so I guess that's a problem, huh? Yeah. I'm trying to think of something to say. I think if I was in Chase's thing, I would just be like, well, I'll continue to look around, I guess. Or continue to try and call. Well, I'm sure he's hiding somewhere. Or maybe he's out at the diner. Probably just got tired of being stuck in his own house. Yeah. He straightens up again and steps forward, and I don't know why, but I take a step back. You were hanging out with Leo yesterday, right? Yeah, for a while. You spent the night there? I pause for a second to give him a hint that I'm not actually okay with him prying like this, but I answer anyway. No, I got back to the motel at like 3? Huh. Yeah. I start to turn back around. Hey, why don't we check the basement? Chase. I get the same tone as a disappointed parent, and that kind of pisses me off. I turn back around. What? You realize what you're doing is stupid, right? Excuse me? Getting back with him during freaking spring break. Pretty stupid, right? I had a feeling that's where this was going, and now that I know for sure, I'm definitely pissed off now. Okay, sorry. I guess my ability to read has tanked. But, I just want to play more, you know? How is that any of your business? How is it not? You seem pretty okay with making it our business, right? How? No. He sneers at me. Cuddling up at the lake, where our friend died, is pretty messed up, isn't it? What? I saw you two. You know I did. Saw what? What does that have to do with Sydney? I guess I just find it weird you two start up your old flame on what's practically a grave. God, he died like several years ago, and you died as well. God. But hopefully you watched the other run of this that I did. What the hell are you talking about? Feelings change from anger to bewilderment. I did know what he was talking about. I just didn't know why. Well, since it's all out in the open now, why not talk about it? You're the one that put this out in the open. In the worst way possible, by the way. His sneer disappears. I just don't get why you're connecting those two things. We weren't even talking about Sydney. How? What else does that lake make you think of? I'm at a loss for words, totally confused. This is Flynn. We never talked about Sydney with him after it happened. I was too scared to. Well, I don't think of it as his, or as his grave, or anything. Oh really? It's just a fucking lake to you then, huh? He didn't die there, Flynn. It was in the hospital. It might have as well been there, right? I swallow hard, wanting desperately to get back inside. Let's not talk about this right now. Oh, I guess I was confused. Everyone's been telling me that I need to talk about it. Well, not like this. Not with just me here. We should all be together if we want to have this talk. I turn around again, making it clear that I'm leaving. Wait. Like, it looks actually sympathetic at that point. I'm not sure what the exact word would be. A change of Flynn's voice makes me turn around again. It's softer, almost pleading. I'm not used to hearing Flynn like this. I'm just trying to look out for you, Chase. He's not. I feel some anger returning. He's not what? Well, he's not exactly a stable guy, is he? I laugh. And you are? He dips his head, and I can tell he's embarrassed, even though he doesn't have the ears to tell me so. And not just you, all of us. We're all a little fucking crazy, aren't we? Flynn smiles a little bit. Well, that's just what happens when you live in Echo. Yeah, pretty much. And also, that's a rare scene, like, what's it called? Sprites there? Him actually smiling. That's what all the kids at school said. Flynn frowns again. Listen, I'm just looking out for you. He's just... I sigh loudly and cover my face with a paw for a second. I was hoping I'd be able to change the subject, but now we're back on Leo. I'm surprised when I lower my paw, and Flynn is just a few feet away. Flynn, just drop it. It's none of your business. His gaze hardens. I think it is when I see a friend taking advantage of another friend. Taking advantage of me? Yeah. He's been since you were fucking 15. I immediately know what he's implying. Fuck off, Flynn. You're acting like a fucking pear. Pear? Like my fucking pear? Oh, parents. Perry. He takes another step forward, and I back away, but he angles it so I'm pressed up against the house. I get the urge to run away, but I feel like doing that will only affirm how much this has escalated. There's a change in him as well, something unfamiliar in his eyes, in his stance, in his voice even. He leans down to my height. Like playing with fire, huh? Have you seen it in his eyes? Oh, really? He's fucking crazy. Have you seen his porn history? Only otters. It's like only fans, but for otters. He pokes me in the chest to emphasize his words. Crazy? Kind of like how you are right now? Flynn pulls away, straight in his back, but still looking down at me. Yeah. Well, maybe I am. The awkward silence stretches out. Seems to go on and on until... You know what? I think... Chase. Both of our muzzles flick towards the direction of Leo's voice. Mine to the right, Flynn's to his left. Leo stands there, ears perked forward. Through his expression, it seems natural, though. Are they doing... never mind. It's like, they can't be doing more yard work today. They did it, like, yesterday, and the day before. Next door. I wonder how long he's been standing there. I can tell Flynn's wondering the same thing. Any sign of him? No. I slide out from under Flynn, making my way towards Leo. I check the back, but I didn't see him anywhere. Leo doesn't even look at me, staring over the top of my head. I look and see Flynn staring back, his shoulders still tensed. That's when I feel Leo's heavy, strong arm drape over my shoulders. Flynn's eyes narrow. Let's get back inside then. As Leo leads me away, I get the feeling that he's still staring at Flynn, even though I don't look up to check. I'm getting worried. No shit. Carl doesn't just disappear from his house like this. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Calm down. He could be anywhere. He has more friends than just us. The fact that he isn't answering his phone is kind of fucking suspicious. Leo holds up his paws. You know he forgets to charge his phone sometimes. That's not me. Well, except for one time, but still. Not important. Flynn's getting more and more frustrated, starting to pace around the living room. He never goes out with other friends. That's the problem. Listen, maybe you should just wait. You all can wait here. I'm gonna find him. Flynn makes for the door before anyone can say anything. It's slamming shut behind him. We sit there in silence for a while, staring at the door that Flynn just took off through. Like, I guess we could get in the car and check diner or something. Leo lets his breath out in a long sigh. Sorry. I don't know why I think it's my stomach being like, we hungry, so we're gonna herb. Rubbing his face. Alright, let's think. Where else does Carl have to go? Comic book shop? Leo looks at me for a second. Maybe if someone else gave him a ride. But like Flynn said, he doesn't have anyone else to do that for him. Well, if you guys are going to do that, then I'll probably stay here in case he comes back. Yeah, and we can keep looking. Sounds good. Leo pulls his keys out of his pocket, then looks back at me. Coming with me, Chase? Yeah. I follow Leo at the door, actually starting to feel worried about Carl. I walk around the mall for about an hour, checking the food court and every shop we pass. So I know that in the previous one, when we were doing TJ's route, TJ was cornered by Flynn. And you know what they were talking about, but we didn't know what they were talking about. And he found Carl in the house. Checking the food court and every shop that we pass. It's clear that this idea was pretty hopeless from the beginning. Jenna lets us know that Carl hasn't showed up at the house either, and they're heading back to the motel. Finally, Leo and I call it quits and head back to his house before walking to the diner for dinner. So, where do you think he went? Leo's hunched over, an elbow on the table as his chin on his paw, staring out the window. Don't know. Do you think we should call someone? Like the cops? Not yet. He's an adult, so they won't go looking into it until it's been days. We should probably call his parents, though, if he doesn't show up by tonight. I don't say anything, stirring my milkshake around. Where do we get the milkshake from? Cow people? I glance back over towards the kitchen area, watching a very tired-looking Janice gather her plates before taking them to the back. I was pretty mortified when I realized she was here and about to take our order, mostly just because I was embarrassed for her. She didn't really say anything, though, just took our order and left. I examined my milkshake closely, though for what I'm not sure. I'm not too worried, though. He's been under a lot of stress and probably just wanted to leave town for a while. But who would he do that with? And why wouldn't he tell us? Leo sips on his milkshake, and I wait for him to finish. I guess things really have changed. Yeah? I rest my chin on my palm, meeting his eyes so he knows I'm listening. I mean, the way Flynn was acting all day, he really can't stand us anymore. Carl probably just feels the same way. I don't think so. Flynn usually's been that way, right? Not like that. Like the way he's been talking to you earlier. He was. So he did hear. Guess you're right. I should have just left shit alone. We all used to fit together so well, but now we've all changed. And it's like we're bending ourselves to fit again. I guess that's just life, right? Leo grunts and keeps staring at the window. It's clear how much he wanted this all to work out, to give us an opportunity for one last hurrah before we separated for good. And now, I'm actually pretty angry at myself, and the others. This is our last chance to really say our goodbyes, and it's like we don't care at all. Jen and TJ are off doing their own thing. Carl's getting lost, and probably high. And Flynn's being Flynn. He leaned forward, then, grinning, You know, I'm really happy you planned all this. Slowly, Leo shifts his attention from the sunset to my face. I smile widely at him. This is the most fun I've had all year, even though everyone's acting like a dick. I dip my head self-consciously, including me. I know, but this whole thing has reminded me a lot of the good things in this town. And even though things have been kind of shitty, I think it's a good note to leave off on. Leo raises brows. Because weren't things always shitty? It's part of the experience. Leo stares at me for a long time, and I feel my grin start to fade. But then he reaches forward and rubs a thumb on my nose. I blink in surprise, and he shows me the smear of white on his thumb pad. Sorry, it was hard to take you seriously looking like a cokehead. He grins and licks his thumb. I blush and grab a napkin to wipe my face, but Leo rests a paw on my arm. But seriously, thanks. For trying at least. Leo looks like he's about to say something else. Hesitates, then opens his muzzle again. Cute. Leo and I look to find a lanky, patchy, ugly ring-tailed cat staring down at us with beady black eyes. Ooh, boy. Somebody dragged you through the, ringer. Got mange everywhere. Can't tell if, just regular mange or if he's a cokehead. Clint. I don't know if you knew, but there's a lot of other people here trying to enjoy their meal. Clint puts a paw down on the edge of the table, leaning in. Could you try not to ruin it for us? He grins at me, showing that how many teeth he's missing. Yes, he's graduated from huffing paint since the last time I saw him. The hell are you doing here, Chase? Didn't you dump his fat ass? Why, do you keep in notice? Watching us on, what is it, Facebook or Pawbook? I don't know. Mawbook? They grimace. I can't tell if he's joking or not, or if he's still the same asshole that I remember him as. I haven't talked to him in years. Well, it kinda looks like you dumped your own ass, Clint. What happened to you? You can see Clint's brain work as he digests what I said, deciding whether or not he should be offended. I can also see his tail twitching behind him, and it's patchy too, leaving some parts of it bald, like a rat's tail. Actually, Clint, you're right. We're all trying to eat, but there's a smelly, ugly ring-tailed skeleton ruining it for us. Clint fixes attention from me to Leo, who smiles sweetly at him. Mind doing us all a favor and getting the fuck out? Clint leans in low to the table, putting his face up next to Leo's. Leo keeps a straight face, and I'm impressed, because I can smell the stench of Clint's breath, even from here. Think you're funny, Beaner? What the hell's a beaner? I've heard it before, I don't know what it is. It's spick. What is a spick? If you're trying to make me mad, you might as well do it right, eh? Leo takes a sip from his milkshake nonchalantly, while Clint gapes at him. His brain, which I imagine is Swiss cheese at this point, tries to come up with some kind of retort. Go fuck yourself. Yeah? Well, I'd tell you to do the same, but you've got a sister at home, don't you? Clint moves fast, swinging a fist up and around towards Leo's jaw. Leo's ready for him and lunges it to the side, though. The fist still glances the side of his face. He grabs Clint's arm and yanks him down onto the table, which knocks over my milkshake and sends it splashing into my lap. Oh, is that when we're gonna go into the, thing? I gasp and stand up and move to the side of the table, while Leo starts to rub Clint's face into the mess, smashing it into the table a few times. Stop it! I jump as Janice shouts it right next to me. Leo hears her too and turns while while still holding Clint down. A dead look is still in her eyes, and the fur on her face is matted, like she's been crying a lot, but hasn't washed since. I'm not gonna deal with this today, Leo. You know Clint started it. Leo's ears are flat as he looks back at Janice, clearly thrown off. Underneath him, Clint snarls and thrashes. I'm gonna have to get the taser from the back. Slowly, Leo backs off Clint, who immediately shoves himself off the table. I can see Leo prepare himself in case Clint takes another swing, but doesn't even look at him. His already dirty tank top smeared brown from the milkshake, he stumbles to the door and disappears outside. You know what I want? I'd kill a milkshake right now. And clean up that fucking mess before you leave. With that, the old coyote turns and sneaks off to the back. She leaves me and Leo to stare at each other before we ruefully wipe up the spilled milkshake with brown napkins. There are only 2 other patrons in the diner with us, a skunk and a jackrabbit. But I can tell their eyes are on us the whole time, and it only adds to the embarrassment. What do you think her problem is? Asked Leo in my breath, as we come back from tossing the ball of wet napkins into the trash can. He just shrugs, though, and I follow him quietly out the diner into the late afternoon light outside. Didn't get a milkshake on pints. Walk in silence for a while, with me walking awkwardly because my soaked and sticky pants are incredibly uncomfortable on my thighs. Just take your pants off. Yeah. We stop at the motel where I change and shower before grabbing a fresh pair of clothes. Then we start back out again. I think about staying behind at the motel, but I feel like that would just be a dick move after what Leo's been through today. As we walk back, Leo takes a detour, stopping at a convenience store. The fight has made things a little awkward between us, so I just shove my pants in my pockets and follow Leo. We go back where he grabs a 12-pack. You go to the back where he grabs a 12-pack. Okay. He doesn't say anything to me either, as he makes his way to the front to pay. Finally, when we're back outside, he nudges me in the direction of the convenience store. Behind the convenience store. Let's sit. I head the way there, because we've both done this dozens of times. We step off the asphalt and down a little ways into the brush, where Leo pulls me up onto a boulder. Leo sighs, pulling out the first beer bottle. Leaning back, he pulls out the keys and uses the bottle opener on his keychain before handing over to me. He does the same for himself, then practically chugs the whole thing before grabbing another, even before I'm able to take my first swig. I don't comment on it, instead look out at the sunset, thinking about how nice it would be just to sort of run off into the wilderness. At least for a little while. I lean back and sigh, noticing the white and brown splotch on his knee of Leo's jeans. What you said to Clint, that was pretty mean. He said some pretty mean stuff too, and it's not like I like saying that shit to him. I mean, do you really need to be like, well, that was kind of mean thing to say to a guy that's homophobic and like a crack addict, and just kind of in people's faces. Seeing me laying back, Leo shifts close to me, allowing me to rest my head against his thigh. Again, the familiar position probably isn't a good idea, but I just don't care. So, does Clint still live with his dad? No, he went to prison 2 years ago. Really? Because of... Yeah. Shit. I hate how they do this where it's like, you mean this guy? Yeah. Really? What did they... And they found... Yep, they found it. It's like, oh... I mean, this is how naturally people would talk, but in this thing, it's like, well, thanks for keeping me out of the loop. loop, guys. We sit in silence, enjoying our quiet surroundings. I lay there. As I lay there, I hear Leo open another bottle, then another. Finally, he lets out a big sigh. We're out of beer. Chase, come back to Echo. Close my eyes, turn my vision blood red against the sunset. Maybe, just not yet. He doesn't press the issue, instead, reaching out for another bottle. By the time I get my second one, the rest are gone. I think that might be a good time to call it. I mean, it's 30-minute mark. I don't know how long this night thing will be. It's been a long day. And boy, an visually accurate moon for once. Because usually, if you had things, the moon would be about maybe this big, or it might be this big. And it's like, yeah. But no, it's this little tiny thing up there right now. I mean, from my vision, it would be kind of larger than that, but still, it's kind of like moons in meter just seems to be like absolutely humongous. Damn, I want to play more, and I have time to do it. I just don't have the ability to do it, unfortunately. So, end of this Let's Play. So please comment, because like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos too. Help it grow, and please remember spend your ammos to help control the bit population. Because that's something that's important to me. And until next time, on another Let's Play. I'm GamerWolfSix of Echo. But before I stop, if you want to play this game, free on the channel. But if you want to support the people that made this game, and are making others, $3 on Patreon. Hyena. So thanks and see ya.